Antonio starts right now.
Happy Friday.
It's Friday. It is Friday. We're acting like it's Friday.
Yes.
I mean, we're all like discombobulated, ready to go. But we got it all together now. It's September 29th.
Yeah.
And we're chatting.
We're chatting.
What
and
are we chatting about today?
You ready for football?
Oh, always. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Some last night, big games tonight. RJ now sets you up for the entire weekend. I know Justin's like going to be glued to the TV.
Oh,
Probably.
Because A&M won last week, so that means, you know,
The pressure's on.
he's on that bandwagon.
We've lost our starting quarterback, so
That's her. Oh, I'm sorry.
you know, in Arkansas, it's a rivalry game, so it's always a tough one.
Yeah.
But is this going to be a good weekend to maybe get out and do something, or is it going to be another hot?
No, I think it is a good weekend. I mean, it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. There's a few showers we may have to dodge here and there, but it's not a bad weekend. I mean, we're sort of used to the hot weather now. The whole month of September has been above average. Here are the weather headlines, though, and this is where it gets good. Yeah, some pop-up isolated downpours this weekend, but a front is in the forecast. It is full-on celebration mode in the Weather Center. We are very excited about this. And in the studio, too, apparently. Yes, really, an actual front with rain to top it all off.
That's even better.
Even better. So we're going to time this out for you. There's still some questions on timing, but it looks promising. And we'll let you know when that cool air is actually going to move in. Not yet. Not yet. Still going to be warm today. 78 degrees at the airport right now. Dew point is at 71. And as we look at the temperatures around the area, Bernie's at 70, Kerrville 73. Seguin also at 70. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up over this cold front. 89 noontime. And then by 4 o'clock, 96 is our forecast high. So hot as promised. And it will be toasty tonight for Friday night football. It was not so bad on the roads this morning. So it steams, Steven. How are things looking right now?
Justin, you're right. Things have been pretty good on my end. I haven't had a lot to talk about, which is great. So I'll keep it pretty short. 410 at Perrin Bidle, we did have a crash reported earlier. It looks like it's already cleared out. We had it there in the eastbound lanes, and there's still a little bit of a buildup that remains out there, but that's normal congestion probably moving through the area. Just watch out if you see any slowdowns. I'm keeping an eye over here along 1604 because it does look like we may have a new crash right there in the westbound lanes, as you see at Chase Hill Boulevard. Other than that, things have already dwindled down. We really didn't even see a lot of congestion out there, but that's expected to change. Plan your commute ahead of time, folks. There is plenty of construction happening in and around the Alamo City, so scan that QR code. Takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. There's a whole list of closures that is updated each week, so know what to expect before you have to hit the roads. Other than that, we're all ready to drive off into the weekend. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Hey, just about an hour ago, we received some sad news, breaking news from California. Senator Dianne Feinstein passed away this morning. She was the longest-serving female U.S. senator in history. Feinstein was 90 years old.
Feinstein spent 3 decades in the Senate since 1992, and she was the first female mayor of San Francisco and was one of the first 2 female senators from California. Back in February, she had announced that she would not run for a 6th term. Now, and within weeks of that announcement, she was absent for more than 2 months as she recovered from shingles. And aides said that Feinstein suffered brain inflammation as complications from that virus.
For a look at today's other top stories, here's today's 9 at 9.
Washington, D.C. has until tomorrow night to figure out a way to prevent the government from running out of money. The GOP-led House passed numerous spending bills last night, but none of them will avert a shutdown, and the clock is ticking while both sides remain split. The bills passed by the House are expected to be dead on arrival in the Senate. Likewise, the Senate's bipartisan stopgap proposal, which still needs final passage, is not likely to get through the House.
Finding affordable childcare about to get worse. The Child Care Stabilization Grant program ends tomorrow. That means more than 70,000 child care programs might also come to a close. The Century Foundation says about 3.2 million children will be kicked out of daycare when the program ends.
Former President Donald Trump will not try to move his Georgia election interference case to federal court. Earlier this month, Trump notified the judge that he may try to get his state case into the federal system. But yesterday, his attorneys wrote their decision is based on Trump's confidence that the Fulton County Superior Court will protect his constitutional right to a fair trial.
The United Auto Workers strike against the big 3 automakers could soon expand. So far, no serious progress in ongoing talk. The main issue, pay. The union says workers should get a 40% raise. Automakers are offering a 20% raise.
New claims for jobless benefits remain low as the overall job market remains strong. The Department of Labor reported that initial claims for unemployment insurance last week were 204,000. That's up 2,000 claims from the previous week's revised total, which is the lowest level since late January.
U.S. consumer spending much weaker in the second quarter than previously estimated. Consumer spending was down from the 1.7% rate to a 0.8% annualized rate. The Commerce Department's final revision of second quarter gross domestic product showed that economic growth was unchanged from the second estimate. The GDP is the broadcast measure of economic output.
Pending home sales in the U.S. fell more than expected last month. The drop of over 7% in August is the steepest fall in nearly a year. Analysts blame the drop on high mortgage rates, now over 7%.
The Justice Department has filed an antitrust lawsuit against a data provider for the meatpacking industry. The suit alleges Agristats of sharing non-public information, allowing its clients, which include some of the biggest poultry and pork producers, to raise prices. The DOJ says the practice harms restaurants, grocery stores, and consumers.
Federal safety regulators are warning parents to stop using a certain bassinet immediately because it could possibly be deadly for a baby. The warning is for the 5-in-1 rocker bassinet. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says they pose suffocation, strangulation, and fall hazards to infants. They were sold online at Walmart.com and other websites. And that's today's 9 at 9.
In your morning headlines, millions of parents about to fall off what's being called the child care cliff.
And it's their life in outer space. Plus, the Ringling Brothers are back, but they are missing a major attraction for many people. RJ is here with the morning headlines.
I was trying to figure that one out.
Yes.
I thought maybe the elephants.
Okay, you're getting close. Yes.
Okay.
Getting warmer there, for sure. Yeah, so a lot of people debating whether this is even a circus anymore.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll talk about this here in just a bit, but let's start first with New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, who, despite calls for his resignation from his own party, is still planning a retreat with donors next month. More than half of his Senate Democratic colleagues have called for his resignation after his indictment for corruption-related offenses. But on Thursday, a political action committee tied to Menendez wrote to donors saying that a 2-day event in Puerto Rico with Menendez and his chief of staff is still on. The message was sent as Menendez informed Senate Democrats that he will not be stepping down. Democrats are concerned he could jeopardize a once safe seat in a blue state if he ran for re-election. Menendez, his wife, and other co-defendants have all pleaded not guilty to those charges. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit during the 9 at 9. You just heard this, but the struggle for parents to find affordable health care is getting more difficult after this weekend. And this morning, millions of parents are about to fall off what we just heard, the child care cliff. So during the pandemic, Congress provided nearly $50 billion to support the child care industry and help parents nationwide. But tomorrow, that help is set to expire. Estimates show that without the government support, up to 70,000 child care centers could close, affecting more than 3 million children. So the root of this, like many things here, is rising costs. The average cost per child is now nearly $11,000 per year. Yes, $11,000 per year. Experts say that working parents, particularly moms, will suffer.
Childcare businesses are going to be put into a position of having to either raise fees on parents or lower the wages of their childcare teachers.
Okay, so what can parents do? So in San Diego, some parents are opting for alternatives to traditional daycare. There's a company there called June Care that connects families in need of childcare with stay-at-home parents. Experts also recommend a babysitting exchange where different parents switch off looking after the kids, or what's called a nanny share, where families split the cost of one person, a nanny there, looking after the kiddos. Okay, so is there life out there? Well, get this, a building block of life may exist inside one of Jupiter's icy moons called Europa. Europa is one of several ocean worlds in our solar system where scientists believe that life could exist. Last week, astronomers observed the frozen surface of Europa. Their analysis revealed an abundance of carbon dioxide in one specific region there. Europa contains twice as much ocean water as Earth, so now these scientists are planning 2 future missions to take a closer look at whether the icy ocean world has the potential to support life. Okay, guys, now to this little bit of controversy here. Now, good news, the Ringling Brothers is coming back after a 6-year hiatus. But get this, the animals are not coming back. So that means, David, no more elephants playing basketball. Okay, the reaction there. Or bears riding around in unicycles.
What?
We're not getting any of it. Okay, the company here still believes that despite no animals at all in these shows, people will still pay to see people do some amazing things. So you're looking at some of the acts there. So they have these things that are now called the Teenage Human Rocket. There's also something called the Triangular High Wire. So a lot of different acts that are going to be done here with this new Ringling Brothers show. The first show is actually tonight in Louisiana with 2 years of stops across the country already planned. So the tour will stop here in San Antonio next year, but no official dates have been set. And as we were saying, guys, is it still a Ringling Brothers circus without the animals involved?
It looks like a Vegas act.
Well,
I was going to say like Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, that's something you kind of see out in Vegas. I mean,
you know.
Yeah, it's a shift, but we'll see if people do pay. They're banking on it, so we will see.
Yeah, I mean, you'll still be.
That was good.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. No lions, no tigers, no bears.
It'll still be a good show, but just not the traditional show that we grew up with.
Elephants.
Yeah.
It's evolved, but it's going to be stopping San Antonio next year. We'll let you guys know when that is.
They can't even call it the Big Top anymore.
No.
No. Just
Sorry. No more elephants.
A show. A show for sure.
It's just a show.
All right, RJ. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
909, 77 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA at 9, a new season of Texas Eats begins tomorrow. And later in the show, David Elder is going to join us live in the studio. He has a preview of what's to come in the new season, and he may have a snack or two for all of us here.
He's got a great season coming up, too.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to have him here. All right, first we're going to be highlighting a local bookstore in the heart of the West Side. It's giving the community the opportunity to learn more about San Antonio's Mexican-American culture.
I feel in seeing these books is a sense of fulfillment that we are making our community better by providing this information and making it available.
Tiffany Huertas has the complete story coming up after the break.
Welcome back. It's 9:13. For Hispanic Heritage Month, we take you to a store that is celebrating Mexican-American culture and highlighting Latino books. Tiffany Huertas shows us how the bookstore is bringing the voices of different Latino authors together.
These are books that you're not going to find at big public commercial bookstores and nationwide chains.
Latino author books fill the shelves here.
So we have a big collection on those of bilingual children's books.
The Guadalupe Latino Bookstore and Gift Shop is located at the corner of Guadalupe and Brazo Street.
In the old Progreso Pharmacy building. Many people will remember it as such.
The store opened in October of 2021.
This is where you're going to find any of those books that are written by Latinx authors in Texas.
Cristina Bailly is the executive director of the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center.
A book that I personally am loving right now, that I'm reading right now, is actually this one, The Tip of the Pyramid.
Bailly says they continue growing.
Our goal is to have the biggest offering in the country of Tamal books.
The bookstore has become a special place for artists and authors. Every month, there are book readings and signings.
Our audiences know that anytime that they're interested in learning more about their culture, learning about a new author, learning about a new book, they can come here and learn about it.
Bailly welcomes the community to this special place in the heart of the West Side.
I feel in seeing these books is a sense of fulfillment that we are making our community better by providing this information and making it available.
The Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center is one of several organizations that make up the Cultural Arts District. There's a lot of opportunity for you to learn more about San Antonio's Mexican-American culture and community. Reporting from the West Side, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Outside with live cam, so maybe, just maybe, this is our last really, really hot weekend. Could it be?
Could be. We're not going to say that unequivocally.
Maybe not
Not going to
the
do
last.
that, David.
Get him to like
Like you were baiting me into that one.
But we know things are going to get better next week a little bit.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. So that's the good news. Yeah. I think we've got a pretty decent front headed our way. It's not going to be sweater weather, sit on the back porch, have a cup of coffee and stay warm type weather. But it is going to be a change, and that's what we've been looking for. I want to show you a graphic. This is an astounding number. It's been 114 days since we've had a high temperature under 90 or under. So it's just been a long time. June 7th, 2023. We could use a day under 90 degrees, and I think we may get it next week. So that's kind of the main takeaway here as we look forward with the forecast. Let's go outside for you right now. 78 degrees and clear. It's not a bad morning. Dew point is at 71, a little humid, and we've got calm winds. As far as cloud cover goes, not much of it. We're seeing a few morning clouds here and there, but nothing that is a big deal. And I think a lot of these clouds go away. By the afternoon, you may see some puffy cumulus clouds develop, none of which will contain any rain. We're not looking for rain today, but as we get into tomorrow, we may start to see a few showers develop. 78 degrees right now, 79 in New Braunfels, 77 in Kennedy, 75 in Rio Medina. Things are starting to warm up now, and it will be an awful warm afternoon. 96 is what we're forecasting, so well above average. 97 in Elmendorf, 98 in Forestville, 96 in Gonzales, and 96 in Cuero. I mentioned some of those showers tomorrow. By the time we get into Saturday afternoon, you'll see a couple spotty showers develop. Not a big deal. If you see a downpour, it won't last very long. It'll be moving right along, so I don't think this will mess up your plans Saturday, but just know you may have to dodge a shower or two. And that'll be the case on Sunday. I know this particular model doesn't show much on Sunday, but I think we have sort of a similar setup, so the possibility is there. Bottom line, Saturday, 93, 20% chance of rain. Same story on Sunday. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler than they are today. I want to show you water vapor imagery. There's not a lot going on across the country as far as the swirls we look for in the atmosphere, but you do notice one just off the west coast. And this is a rather strong one. It'll start to get even stronger as it moves east in the coming days. As it moves onshore today, it'll be rain to parts of the Pacific Northwest. But the good news here is now it looks like this is going to make its way across the country, and that's important because as it strengthens and moves east, it helps develop a cold front. That cold front sinks south, and we think it'll be on our doorstep here in South Texas by Wednesday, bringing some showers and storms as it does. This is the other part of this, the good news. There is rain with this front, and I think probably Thursday morning, our rain chances may peak a little bit, although I'll tell you with the timing with these things, this is still very early to be talking about specific timing. And I think that could change a little bit. It often does with these early season cold fronts. But the general idea is that we'll get some rain Wednesday and then hopefully some cooler air by Thursday. And then by Friday, some cool mornings and some pretty nice weather in the sense that we'll have some lower humidity. And any sort of change at this point is great, right, after what has been just a rough stretch. So here's how it looks in the 7-day forecast. We mentioned the weekend, 93 Monday. I think on Tuesday we could see a couple of isolated storms, but it is Wednesday when we start to ramp up the rain chances. Right now, 40% and high temperature of 90. As of right now, Thursday, we have 87 and a 30% chance of rain. I think that's mainly relegated to the morning. But again, timing will probably change. It often does. It's just exciting to see it on the 7-day forecast and see some rain chances, see some cooler weather, and I'm hoping that we get those highs in the 80s. It'll feel so much better.
Yes, wonderful news.
And by next Friday night, football could actually feel like football weather. Ooh.
That is really good news there.
It is.
For everybody, not just the players, people in the stands.
Everybody.
And everybody just walking around.
Over halfway through the season, it's finally feeling like fun.
Yeah. Time now, 9:19 and 78 degrees for now.
A new trend seems to be that people who have already retired are actually deciding to return to the workforce. When we come back, if you or someone you know is thinking about doing this, there are a few things you should consider before you start applying for those jobs.
From Amazon's big sales blowout to deals on grills and autos, October is packed with potential savings and specials. Deal News recently rounded up some of the best places to find markdowns of the month, and it starts with Amazon's second Prime Day event. It's scheduled for October 10th and 11th. It will offer significant savings on numerous categories. Amazon says it will offer deep discounts on brands ranging from Sony to Dyson and Barbie to Peloton. Watch for savings on grills and patio furniture in October as retailers look to clear out remaining inventory. And moving inventory is what auto dealers have traditionally done in October. They're looking to clear out older models as new models arrive. And depending on what type of vehicle you're looking for, you may be able to lock in a deal. Another item you could find marked down as fall sets in: lawnmowers. Another category that tends to get discounted as the weather turns colder: camping gear. And watch for early savings on things related to winter weather like ice scraper tools for clearing away snow. But if you're looking for a deal on electronics or even a new phone, wait until next month. Thanks to Black Friday sales, November is usually the best time to find bargains on electronics like laptops, even iPhones. For more on where to find deals in October, check out the full story at dealnews.com.
Unretirement. That is a new term that describes someone who has returned to work after being retired. And it's becoming a trend. Most people decide to return to workforce because of financial reasons, feeling lonely, or maybe they're just bored. But if you're one of those thinking about going back to work, there are some caveats you should consider. Ursula Perry has them for you.
So I'm going to call Camille, party of three.
Trevor Vitor retired from commercial real estate at the age of 65. But 3 years later, he's back to work.
I needed something to do.
This time around, he's exchanged his suits for shorts, working on the water part-time for a scenic boat tour company.
You're meeting a lot of people. You meet people from all over the country, all over a lot of different countries.
Trevor's decision to unretire is not uncommon. A recent study found 1 in 6 retired Americans are considering returning to work. But there are some things to think about. First, examine the benefits you might be losing. If you haven't reached full retirement age, you can earn up to $19,560 before your Social Security benefits are impacted. After that, your check will drop by $1 for every $2 you earn. If you do decide to rejoin the workforce, use your existing professional network to land a job. Reach out to former colleagues or managers about opportunities. Also, get up to speed on technology. Learn how to conduct a Zoom call, for example, and become familiar with online platforms like LinkedIn.
Oh, you did?
And if you're like Trevor and don't necessarily need the income, consider a job that's low stress, flexible, and enjoyable.
If you don't enjoy what you're doing, why do it at all?
Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
There's a lot of good jobs for retirees out there.
Yeah, there's options. What?
I was going to say I've already thought of some, but I'm not going down that road. Justin's not in here, so we're good.
Yeah.
926 and 78 degrees.
All right. Well, including our preview of New Texas Eats season, that begins tomorrow. We can see David Elder's already getting ready for our segment. We're pretty excited to be joining him in the next half hour.
Ooh, food galore. Plus, RJ and I are going to be back previewing this week's big game coverage game of the week between Randolph and Blanco coming up tonight. We're also going to be talking about this weekend's college and NFL matchups, some interesting ones coming up. The U.S. Congress barreling towards a government shutdown without a solid plan in sight to avert one.
Now lawmakers have less than 48 hours to come up with an agreement, or millions of Americans could be furloughed without pay.
ABC's M. Nguyen joins us from Washington with the latest.
Good morning. It's a chaotic week on Capitol Hill as Congress stares down the spending deadline coming this weekend. For now, it appears the government is tumbling into a shutdown. This morning, mounting tensions on Capitol Hill as House Speaker Kevin McCarthy wrestles with hard-right Republicans to make a deal that would avert a government shutdown. Today, McCarthy plans to hold a test vote on a far-right bill urging his GOP conference to unite and approve a measure that would slash federal funding by 8% and toughen border security while temporarily keeping the government open. But at least 10 GOP members are against any continuing resolution. The House passed 4 of the 12 appropriations bills needed to fund the new fiscal year, but they're considered dead on arrival in the Senate. If a shutdown comes October 1st, as many as 4 million federal workers, including 20,000 Border Patrol officers, could be furloughed or asked to work without a paycheck. Notably, a shutdown could also impact more than 1 million active duty service members, including Austin Carrick's husband. This mom saying they rely on every paycheck to help with their daughter's medical expenses.
They are literally playing games with our lives. We mean nothing to them, but they expect my husband to go fight their wars. That's not fair.
Meanwhile, the Senate unveiled a stopgap measure that would keep the government open until mid-November, but it includes funding for Ukraine, something McCarthy has indicated is a non-starter for House GOP. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Look out there with live cam. I went outside earlier. It wasn't too bad, but now I see the sun shining, and I know temperatures will warm up, but I also know that we might see the 80s next week.
That's the exciting part of the forecast. It does feel a little bit warm now. Temperatures are starting to warm up, and it is going to be a hot day, hot weekend. We got to wait till next week to get any sort of relief. Did you see the moon this morning, though? It was incredible. We had the super moon, the harvest moon, and this is a picture from San Antonio. That's a cool shot of it. Big and bright last night. We got so many great pictures coming in on KSAT Connect. You can check those out, by the way. We didn't get to show all of them on GMSA this morning, but you can check them out on KSAT.com. Really, really good shots. Good photographers out there. Here's a look at the current temperatures across the country. We're starting to see the effects of that trough out west. Some cooler temperatures in places like Seattle and Portland, Boise, Cut Bank. Some of that colder air will finally get dragged down into Texas. Again, we have to wait till next week for that to happen. So in the meantime, it's still pretty warm, 70s across the board this morning with some 80s closer to the coast. Our forecast today, 89 noontime. We're up around 96 this afternoon, mostly sunny. And this evening, temperatures are slow to cool down. It'll take until 9 o'clock for us to get into the upper 80s. We're going to have another look at the timing on that cold front for you coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, it's Friday, David. That means we are looking ahead to another action-packed football weekend.
Yeah, we're going to start with the big game of our big game coverage. We're going to get right to it. Thanks, Steph. We're going to get right to it, though. Tonight, it's the Randolph Rohawks hosting the Blanco Panthers. This is a District 13-3 Division I battle. They're both undefeated in district. I think Randolph is undefeated at 5-0.
Yes,
Blanco is 4-1, so this ought to be a fun one tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So far, the Rohawks, which Justin Horn pointed out earlier, is a combination of Rockets and Hawks. Makes sense out there. Randolph, yes, sir. Thank you. They've beaten Schulenburg, Sachs, and YMLA and Kennedy, and then Marion last night to go ahead and start this district season.
Yeah, they were actually picked to finish fourth in district by Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, but that's why they play the game.
Absolutely, yeah. And Blanco out there also in the running here for the district championship. And so David and I are going to be out there. Yeah.
About 6:15, we'll start our
pre-game party,
streaming.
live stream. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's our game of the week. Just one of more than a dozen games that we have going on. High school football season definitely underway.
Steph, where are you going to be tomorrow?
Actually out of town.
You're out of town?
Yeah, well, not for the Longhorns game.
You better take your transistor radio.
I know.
Because the Longhorns playing Kansas tomorrow. Kansas is ranked, 24th in the country? Texas is ranked 3rd in the country. So this could be very interesting. Both unbeaten, and Big 12, of course, they've only played one game.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yeah, so you know what? We are going to see a lot of traffic up I-35 going to Austin there. Big game there for the Horns, the Kansas Jayhawks. As we mentioned, Kansas, David, ranked 24th, and Texas right now ranked 3rd. So they are definitely in the college football playoff conversation.
They're going to be hard to beat.
I agree.
It's hard for me to say that. But they're going to be hard to beat. Yeah, they've got it all together going into this year. And then also,
hopefully,
Justin, where are you going to be tomorrow afternoon at 11 a.m. or tomorrow morning?
You're sitting on a couch.
Here we go. Yeah,
watching this game. I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
You're worried every week.
I know.
Me
but
too.
This one I'm even more worried about.
A&M's got a backup quarter. They lost their starter. So
we see there Connor Weigman is going to miss the rest
of
the
I didn't want to see
season.
that.
Tough one there. Big one here out there. It's called the Southwest Classic. A&M taking on Arkansas up there in Jerry World. Should be a lot of fun. Big SEC West matchup there.
Texas Tech is taking on Houston tomorrow too.
And Texas State.
Throw that in there.
South to Southern Miss. Eat them up.
There they go. Okay. All right. On Sunday, this is a big one. Cowboys and Patriots. And guess who's coming back to AT&T Stadium with the Patriots? Zeke.
Oh.
Remember him? Yeah, he's coming back. He plays with the Patriots.
Thanks,
That's
RJ.
right. Zeke looking
That's
to
what I'm
try
here for,
and
Steph,
eat
just to remind
up.
you of this stuff.
Trying to eat up. Remember, he used to do that thing where he used to do the
still does
feed
it.
me, Zeke. Yeah, that sort of thing. He's with New England now, David. So I wonder if he's giving some trade secrets to Bill Belichick.
I bet he
about
has.
I'm sure he is. Yeah,
One or
as well.
twice.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's like their second running back. He's like number 2. He's only got like 122 yards, but he's averaging like a little over 4 yards a carry. So he's not having a bad season, but he still does the feed me thing.
Yes. Can Dak Prescott bounce back here, David?
What did Dak Prescott tell us all
you
training
manifested
camp?
this.
I'm not going to throw near as many interceptions as I did last year. Okay, you may
Had a bad
throw
game.
fewer, but don't throw the really bad ones like in the end zone. Don't Dak us
don't do that.
again.
All right.
Come on, Dak.
Cowboys looking to
Come
bounce
on,
back
Dak.
here, get off to a better start than what they did there in that loss at Arizona. They take on the Patriots. And then, David, this one's a fun one. The Steelers versus the Texans there.
Why is it so fun, RJ?
Okay, J.J. Watt will be inducted to the Texans Hall of Fame, and his brother, T.J. Watt, is one of the best defensive players. He plays for the Steelers. So
Yes.
the Watt brothers.
C.J. Stroud, better pay attention.
And
'cause
C.J. Stroud. Yeah.
T.J. could be right there greeting him more than once. So that'll be fun. That'll be a fun weekend in Houston. That'll be fun Sunday. Yep.
J.J. Watt, an iconic Houston Texan. I think Andre Johnson is the only other Houston Texan that's in that Hall of Fame there for that franchise.
Congratulations.
Good stuff for J.J. Watt.
J.J. All right.
Yeah, congrats. A lot
It's
of
almost
fans
time
out
for
there.
food, so back to you. So take it away.
Almost time for food. Okay, well, I guess we'll hurry up here.
Please.
All right, time now, 9:38, 80 degrees. And like David said, there you go. Coming up in just a few minutes, David Elder will be in the studio with us to talk about the latest season of Texas Eats, which debuts tomorrow morning. So tune in for that after weather. Let's look out there with Zoo Cam to our flamingo friends.
Where are they?
They're in the shade.
Man, they're hanging.
They said they were done with the sun, except for these two.
They're buzzing.
Yeah, and they're buzzing.
They're buzzing.
Buzzing around the zoo.
Buzzing.
It's a great day to buzz around the zoo.
They're on a Friday morning stroll.
Yes.
What a September. I didn't think I was going to have to say this, but I am. After August, I thought surely September will get a little bit of a step down. Not so much. We're averaging 87.3 every single day in September. We were above average, and we will finish that way. The lowest high temperature we saw was 93. So just to give you some perspective there, it was a rough September. Hopefully October brings some changes. I think it will. It's looking better and better. We're optimistic about next week. 78 right now in San Antonio. We've got 75 for Seguin, Bernie, and Kerrville. And New Braunfels is nearing 80 degrees. A little bit of a heat index, too, because humidity levels are still elevated. As we head into tomorrow, we'll get some spotty showers. I don't think it's really too much to worry about. We're calling for a 20% chance of rain. We may see a few more on Sunday. There's enough humidity there where we could get some downpours, and if you do get caught underneath one, shouldn't last all that long. But just know that's a possibility this weekend if you are going to be out and about. Cloud cover this morning, not much. We've seen a little bit of morning cloudiness off to the west around San Antonio, a couple clouds here and there, but by and large, it will be a mostly sunny day. Want to show you the big picture. Still pretty quiet. We've got some storms up across Minnesota, some showers and storms in the Gulf of Mexico. But it's the Pacific Northwest that we're watching. And here's why. We're starting to get an area of low pressure here develop. We're going to get a trough developing, and this thing's going to strengthen. It's going to move across the country, and it will help to push a front through. And here's what it looks like. By Sunday, it'll be encompassing most of the western half of the country. You'll get some unsettled weather up here. Still far enough away to where it really doesn't have an impact on our weather. But as we get into Tuesday, this is when we start to feel it a little bit more. I think we could get some isolated storms on Tuesday, a small chance. But as this front gets a little bit closer on Wednesday, rain chances then start to pop up. Right now, we think the front arrives early on Thursday. So out ahead of the front on Wednesday, we should get a scattering of showers and storms. And then by Thursday morning, a little better chance perhaps. Cooler air starts to funnel in. Now, keep in mind, these early season cold fronts, models kind of struggle with the timing here, so the timing could change a little bit, but this is the general idea. And then I think by the time we get into late Thursday and into Friday, we start to feel the cooler, drier air. Now, this is not going to be a huge cool down. We're talking highs in the 80s, but it's better than what we've been dealing with. So finally, potentially some changes. All right, let's go out to the tropics now. Interesting situation out here. We got Philippe and Rina, both tropical storms. But notice how close they are. Notice they're not really moving. Sometimes when this happens, if they get close enough together, they do a little bit of a square dance we call the Fujiwara effect. It's pretty interesting. One starts to kind of rotate around the other. I think that's kind of what's going on here. Nonetheless, they just kind of drift off north and weaken, so it's not something we have to worry about, just sort of interesting note out in the Atlantic. Okay, the extended forecast. There are those small rain chances over the weekend, low 90s, 93 Monday, 20% chance Tuesday, 92, 40% chance though Wednesday, high of 90, and there's the payoff. Still some rain chances early Thursday and highs potentially only in the 80s.
Eat it or leave it.
That was good.
That was good. That was good.
Okay. Now
This
go
is the blindfold rating show where we're going to be trying different food from different grocery stores all across Texas. And today we are trying popsicles. And you're already blindfolded.
I'm ready to go, man. Let's get this on.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. That's good.
That's pretty good. I'm going with the 9.
Whoa. Okay. Right out the
High,
gate.
man.
There we go. Number 2.
Number 2.
Oh. A more traditional popsicle because it's got the stick on it.
We need some like music from like the guy that the music.
The ice cream man? This one tastes like cardboard.
Really?
I don't like
Well,
it.
that's because it's got a stick in it.
I'm gonna have to go. This one's a 5 out of 10 for me. The double pop. Double trouble, baby. It's a little creamy. It's a little fruity. It's got some good flavor to it. Almost has like a strawberry kind of vibe to it.
I think it's good.
That's a lot of fun.
I like that.
David Elder joining us now. Just describe what that is real quick so we can get to this.
Well, so that is a blindfold taste review segment that we've been doing on social media called Eat It or Leave It. And Sears and I are trying different stuff. And that was a popsicle one. And that was actually really fun. That was exciting. And I like adding in the little animations in there to make it.
Yeah, that was cute.
That's a guy.
Yeah, this is the guy
ice cream
with
truck
the thing
guy.
in the, you couldn't get it out.
So where can we see that?
Eat It or Leave It. You can, of course, go on social media. It's on Instagram. You can go to Texas Eats, Elder Eats, KSAT's Instagram. You can go watch that right now. We have more coming out soon. But this is the reason for the season right here.
Wow.
This is what it's all about. We've got French fries, burgers, cheesecake, calzones, and it's all this for the start of the new season of Texas Eats.
That's a lot.
This is a small sampling of what the season has in store
Talk about
for us.
that real quick.
Gosh.
Yes, the news.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
David.
Oh, you're like, okay, you can go now. Yeah, you just like take it all.
So this is amazing here.
Yes,
this is all a combination. I've never seen it like, I think this camera, I'm not sure.
Oh,
You're just going
Careful
for
with
it.
the knife there, David.
Oh, yeah, whoa. So this is all from Max and Louie's,
Yes.
which they are in the new promo that you see kind of promoting the new season as well. And this is called a BFS. It's a burger fry shake.
That's a thick shake because it's not coming
Traditionally, it is a horizontal presentation, but this is a vertical presentation. Just like New York, your limited space, you got to build up. You know what I mean?
I love that.
I love the presentation.
And Drew Glick, the owner, he's a super sweet guy. He brought all this food for us this morning for you guys to try.
Thank you.
I do have
nice stuff right there.
fork for you as well, Justin.
There you go.
If
thank you.
you want to
Mine's
dive
here.
in. But I'm super excited because the new season starts tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning right here on KSAT 12.
Just a taste of the new season.
This is a taste. This is a sampling. And there's also going to be 8 restaurants on tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Just tomorrow?
Just
Oh, my
tomorrow.
goodness.
And, so before the Texas game, make sure you're watching because it's going to be a great sampling of Central South Texas cuisine. Plus, we get outside. We do a little thing now called Working Up an Appetite, where we're going to get out and do some more active stuff. We go to treasure hunting on the river. I can't tell you which river because it is an undisclosed location. But it is with a YouTuber, Man Plus River. Took us out. We went into the river. We kind of go snorkeling. There's some video of it. And I had some fun. But we're working up an appetite. You know what I mean? So you got to get hungry.
So this is before you eat, not after you eat.
Exactly. Mama always said you can't go swimming on a full stomach. So you got to do it before. Look at that.
Nice form.
Yeah, good job there.
Those people got splashed. They were so mad, but they were very sweet afterwards. We made it up. But it was really fun. And then we go on an Austin barbecue tour after that. So that's how we worked up a big appetite.
8 restaurants.
8 restaurants. So the Austin barbecue tour, technically, there you go, little lady in the tramp action right there.
With brisket, though.
Yeah, with the big dino beef rib.
Oh my goodness.
And look, I like that Sears is just going to town over here.
Oh yeah, he doesn't waste
This
any
is what
time.
Supposed to do with food. You're supposed to eat.
You gotta eat the food.
The burger,
This is a turtle
gone.
cheesecake, garlic knots, chicken parm, calzones, and that one's called the Max and Louie. It is a Reuben sandwich with the burger combo. Because a lot of people go to Max and Louie's, you go for breakfast, you go for brunch.
Right.
They got hours-long waits, and it's fun to do that. But I highly recommend going. Oh, you need some napkins.
Oh my goodness.
I highly recommend going for dinner because they have a lot of different samples like this. The calzone is just massive. I mean, look at this thing.
Yeah,
That's
pick it.
bigger than your head. Just look at that thing. You can actually go to sleep. It's like a pillow.
And
you can take. You can take a little bite while you're sleeping.
Take a little bite.
Do come true.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And of course, they left us with some whipped cream. I don't know. I was told to keep it away from you, though, Sears. But I'll just keep it over here. But yeah, I love Max and Louie's. They're a great spot, and they've always been huge supporters of the show. They were in season 1, episode 2, so they've always been kind of with us as we've been going through, or episode 3. And Drew's just a great guy. So he dropped all this food off for us. But, I mean, we have a lot going on this season. Plus, we're going to the state fair, and that'll be next week. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot of
That's
fun.
like fried food deluxe up there.
Yeah.
It is. And they already picked the winners this summer of all the top food items that they're going to be showcasing. And then next weekend is the Red River Rivalry. Try to say, now you got to say it real slow so you say it right.
Yeah.
So we'll be showcasing if you go up there to go watch the game, you can actually check out the food you're going to see at the fair while you're there. So you can watch and you can check it out. So I'm super excited. We got a lot going on. And also haunted restaurants starts back up in October, where we go check out actual places that are haunted. The Manger is one of them as well that we're going to be going. They have great food. That's a hidden gem.
Is there that many haunted restaurants?
I only know
We're in
about
Texas, baby. There's a lot of haunted restaurants out here.
Excited about that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they get pretty spooky. There's some places that have some, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to eat here anymore. You find out that it's haunted.
But the food
is always really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
for
food's
sure.
good. Well, this food looks amazing.
This is awesome, man.
Well, this is like 3 people can share this.
That's one David right there.
One David.
One David. Yeah, you can put that down.
I don't know. That's
For
huge.
sure.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Thank Drew for
yes.
bringing it.
Thank you.
Of
Is
course.
Drew still
Yes,
here?
thank you, Drew. No, he had an appointment.
Oh.
He had more food to make.
They have more food to make. Thank you for spoiling us here.
Yes.
GMSA
So
at
good.
9.
Of course.
And I'm sure Alex, our producer, and everybody there in the back would
Oh my
like
God.
to have some as well.
We already had vultures circling over here. Like as I was bringing the food over, they were like, "Hey, where's that going? What's that doing?" RJ was just like looking at it too. He was kind of like, "What's going on?"
Case and employee vultures.
Yeah, let me know when that's done.
They're waiting for sure.
They are.
Tomorrow morning, though, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, right here on KSAT 12. Get ready, brand new season 5. Season 5.
That went by fast.
It did. We're already at season 5, and I'm super excited just to get back out there, showcase these local restaurants, give them a platform where they can tell everybody all the great food that they have, and Sears can go and eat their food too.
Yeah. Well, amazing work.
And eat it or leave it.
Yeah, eat
Make
it
sure
or
you
leave it.
watch
Yeah.
it. And I think this is an eat it, right?
This is an eat it for sure.
No, you're not gonna do that. This is like, these are all 9s.
Just so y'all know, there's
Right.
like prompting things and all this kind. I think you're supposed to be asking questions. You're just eating right.
You're just going to town.
Show the situation.
That's awesome.
Okay.
But thank you for showcasing the
You want me
restaurant.
to ask you questions while I'm sitting there eating a hamburger?
No. Eat your food. Eat your food.
Yeah. You can just find out tomorrow, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Texas
You'll
Eats.
learn more. Yeah. But thank you guys. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you for joining us.
Do you want some,
We'll be right
some
back.
whip on there?
No, I don't hear that.
All right, thanks guys for joining us again. We're going to share this awesome turtle cheesecake with everybody. Okay. Well, I'll be I just wanted to show you guys, but thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here to talk about the show tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. And Sears, good job.
Guess what? We'll have to work out now.
Yeah, you did it back.